Hello and welcome to my channel. Today's video is on bearing angles, and we have a question here. It's asking what is the direction of a place whose bearing is 300 degree. Before we solve this problem, I want you to take note of this word, direction. Okay, so bearing angles can be represented in the form of compass bearing or three-digit bearing. Okay, I'm going to explain. So if you say three-digit bearing, example of a three-digit bearing is this 300 degree you are given here. What it means that any bearing angle you are representing must be in the form of three digits. Say for instance, you have a bearing angle that is less than 100 degree. If you want to write the angle, you must add zero, put zero in front of the number. Say you want to represent 50 degree in a three digit, you are not going to write this 50 degrees wrong. It's going to be 050 degree. That is, you have represented it in a three digit form. Okay, and also in a angles that are represented in three digit form, they start their calculation, you start their measurement from the north and it moves in a clockwise manner. Okay, that is how you calculate three-digit bearing. But for compass bearing, it is also based on the cardinal point. It is based on the cardinal point north, south, west, and east. And it is represented in this form. You must indicate the two cardinal points where that angle is formed. Say for instance, the angle is formed between north and east. If we say this angle is here, 30 degree, we are going to represent it as this north 30 degree east. Okay, so you must indicate the cardinal point, and the cardinal point, it always starts from either the north or from the south, and it measured towards the west or the east. Same for the north. Okay, and there are the relationship that exists between this compass bearing and three-digit bearing is that both can be converted. So you can convert a three-digit bearing to a compass bearing and vice versa. Okay, so with this understanding now, let us move on to solving this problem. Okay, so solving this problem will require us to draw the cardinal point. Why? Because it's asking for direction. Okay, so let's draw our cardinal point. We have upwards as the north, we have south, we have the west, and we have east. Okay, so a place whose bearing is 300 degree. Remember, I told you that this is a three-digit bearing, and three-digit bearing starts measurement from the north and goes in a clockwise manner. Okay, so these cardinal points, they are also known as the primary directions, and these primary directions, they divide the angle at a point to 90 degree each. So each of these primary direction, the cardinal point, they divide it into 90 to sum up to give us 360, which is angle at a point. Now that we have bearing of 300, so if we add this 90, 180, 270, so our 300 will be somewhere around here. That's the northwest. Okay, so now since we have 270 and we're looking for 300, we'll subtract 270 from 300. So if we subtract 300 minus 270, we have 30. So now the additional angle that will be here will be 30. Here will be 30 degree. So that by the time you sum, for instance, the angle form now is this, where you have the north, you have now the northwest, and this total angle here is 300 degree. Okay, but in because the direction is talking about the cardinal point where it is located, so remember that I told you that compass bearing is based on the cardinal point, and it's either starting from the north or from the south. So since it's within this region, we are going to base our starting point from the north. So whatever value we have, we'll always start from north and then the angle, then west. Okay, so now we have our 30 here, and the total angle here is 90. Total angle here is 90. So we can choose to solve it in two ways. At the end, you choose which you prefer. Okay, we can say that since angle at a point is 360, and we have from this place to here as 300, we can choose to subtract the 300 from 360, that is 300 from the angle of a point, to arrive at 60 here. Or we can just choose to seclude, to remove this other place and deal with only the angle that is formed between north and west, which is 90. So if we subtract 30 from 90, we arrive at 60. If we subtract the whole angle from 360, which is 300, from 360, we are going to arrive at 60. So now the angle here is that direction, which is now going to be north 60° west. So this angle here, if this place is 300, to make it total is 60. So the direction of 300° is now equal to north 60° west, and that's our answer.